Fellow Biafrans, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is in court. Today is the day, the day of the no case hearing. That's our leader, Oyende, stepping in majestically into the Nigerian High Court under the judge, Justice James Nnamdi. He has come for the hearing to let the whole world know that he has no case to answer. Today is the day, so let us see what the judge will do. Justice James Nnamdi. Today is the day of reckoning, and everybody is sitting down. I will make sure I dedicate this whole day as usual for Nnamdi Kanu. Fellow Biafrans, today, Friday, the 26th of September, 2025, our leader is in court. He has entered the court. A time like this is a time for us to observe Nigeria, to see if Nigeria has an element of shame. If Nigeria has an element of shame. And we love you. We appreciate you. And we shall observe what will transpire in court today. Let us see what James Justice Nnamdi has got to say about the no case submission. For those who want to pray, you can go on and pray. But I know Nigeria very well. I know how Nigeria works. So I will tell the Biafrans, just observe. This is not a time for prayer. This is not a time to beg nobody. All we can do, all we should do, is observe. Observe the scenario. Observe the situation. Observe. At this point, I feel I need to speak to my people, the different people. We have seen again that our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, a man of the people, a man loved by the people, a man adored by the people. Today, his case was brought forward from the 10th of October to the 26th of September. So we are wondering, the same way everyone else is wondering what's going on. You and I, we're just observing. We want to understand the need for this case to be brought forward. What's the plan of Nigeria? What's the agenda of Nigeria? Justice James Nnamdi, what plans have you got under your sleeves against our leader Nnamdi Kanu? A man who all he did was speak for the freedom of his people. All he did was ask for a referendum. All he did was to ask for you guys to leave and let us to leave. Leave and let's leave. But at a time like this, Nigeria has chosen to do the unthinkable. Nigeria, they have chosen to sabotage a people, sabotage a nation, sabotage Biafra. Went all the way to Kenya to kidnap this man. And today, at the time when terrorists, the real terrorists in Nigeria have been freed, they're entering a peace treaty with terrorists all across Nigeria, giving them peace deals, saying they have repented. At the same time, our leader Nnamdi Kanu is being held by Nigeria. Makes you to wonder, why must it always be different when it comes to the Biafrans? Why must it always be different when it comes to an Igbo man? Why must Nigeria have two sets of laws? One for the North and one for the Biafrans. One for those who believe in the caliphate and one for those they call it dots in a circle in the southeast, the so-called southeast. Fellow Biafrans, today is not a day to cry. Today is not a day to pray to God. I don't want nobody to pray to God to touch the heart of Tinubu. No. This one is bigger than Tinubu. We are dealing with the caliphate because when Buhari was here, we assumed that Buhari was the problem. We assumed Buhari was the one who went to Kenya to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu. And even at the demise of Buhari, a man who died twice, a dead man who died again, despite he is no more, Tinubu has continued with the script. Tinubu has tailored what he's doing with the blueprint of Buhari. That tells me that there is a bigger hand controlling the affairs of Nnamdi Kanu still being held in the DSS. There's an invisible hand making sure our leader is being punished for something that should end up on a round table to discuss how to break up Nigeria peacefully, amicably. But no, the other tribe, they chose to go against the Biafrans. They have come to kill us. They have come to sabotage. They have come to take over our resources. They have come to take over our land. They have come. Even to a level that even the only one speaking for Nnamdi Kanu, his most beloved disciple, Master Simon Ekpa, they all connived against him in Finland. And before you know it, Simon Ekpa was convicted for 6 years in Finland. A man who is now going through the appeals to prove that he has done no wrong. All he did was spoke. He spoke the truth. He spoke truth to power. He shone a light on the activities of the Nigerian government in Biafra land. He came in the public to expose the activities of the Nigerian Islamic military in Biafra land. But today they connived with Finland and put an icing on the cake with a contract. The oil and gas contract was more like the icing on the cake for Finland, which made Finland to do the unthinkable. And they made sure Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa, as we speak, are being detained and held concurrently. Fellow Biafrans, today is the day we shall sit back on this one and observe Nigeria. Let us see if they are mature enough to do what is right. Let us see if they've turned a new leaf. Let them see if now they understand that nothing else can stop us. Not in the next 100 years, not in the next 1,000 years. Once we redeclare Biafra, we will stand with Biafra. No more going back. No more room for negotiation. Let us see if they understand the time at hand and what must be done. If they know that we, the Biafrans, we have come for our freedom. At this point, all I want to say is today I will dedicate this whole day to our leader, a man I love so much, a man I appreciate, a man who was able to educate the people of Biafra, a man who was able to capture our audience all the way from far away in the diaspora. Biafrans living in diaspora, we never knew what was happening in motherland. We never knew about the Islamization going on in Nigeria. We never knew the activities of the Fulani cabal, bringing in their terrorists, their headsmen, all in the guise of politics, promising them that they own Nigeria, but at the end, they broke a deal. And today, the headsmen, Boko Haram, ICC, SWAP, Lakorawa, and the rest of them, they have come to take over Nigeria. So we Biafrans, we find ourselves in the crossfire because we are from a land where majority of us are Christians, traditional worshippers, and Jews. We don't believe in Islam. Islam is alien to our culture. Islam is alien to our way of life. Islam is alien to our religion, our spirituality. The African spirituality has nothing to do with Islam. But unfortunately, those who are bent on making sure they come with the processes, the short-term goals, medium-term and long-term goals to Islamize Nigeria. I target the Islamification of Nigeria, a process where over time they will be able to take over Nigeria through Islamization. But the process as which they will be using to take over Nigeria is known as Islamification, where your ways of life, your culture, your norms, your ethics change over time. The way you dress will change. Most of you women, you now know that when you go to the north, there is a particular way you have to dress. The other time, a lady was telling me she went to Abuja for a contract, and she had to change the way she dressed. She had to appear more modest. She had to cover herself up because she didn't have that freedom to express herself the normal way she does. I've heard from our people who said that if you want those contracts, you must dress with your kaftan when you are going into the government houses, government parastatals in Abuja. Over time, we've heard about the Sharia law. You've seen Hizbah coming around saying drinking alcohol is a crime. Even though when it comes to taxation, they are there taking the lion's share of taxation from alcohol and spirits. But today, as a businessman in the north, you are not allowed to sell alcohol in your business stores and fronts. I call that the Islamification of a people, the Islamification of a community, and the Islamification of a country. So, fellow Biafrans, this is something that is alien to us. We are children of God. Our culture is an open door policy. As the name goes, Biafra. Bia means Bia. Fra means near. So when we speak, we say, come near, come to us. Come abode. You are welcome. Welcome to the land. Come and stay. Come and take succor. Come for your refuge. We are one family. That's our norms. That's our belief. That's the way we live. We don't believe in coming to conquer people, to take over their lands, sabotage them, chase them away from their ancestral homes, send them into IDP camp, and in the same process, the government of the time is supporting the activities. Fellow Biafrans, these are the sins, the supposed sins of Nnamdi Kanu, a man who spoke for freedom, a man who spoke for equality, a man who spoke about the so-called 3 R's that they brought in: the reconstruction, reconciliation, and the rest of them, rehabilitation. Till this day, they have not reconstructed Biafra land. Till this day, they've not rehabilitated Biafra land because the war is still going on. Ask everybody in Nigeria, they will tell you that the war, the Biafran war, is still ongoing. And we are saying enough is enough. We are sick and tired of being the ones that bring the resource to the land. But when it's time to share the resource, we get fed like an ant. While those that don't have resources, while those that don't own the resources, they eat like fat cows on the table. And they let go the crumbs. Till this day in Biafra land, you will not feel the presence of the federal government of that zoo called Nigeria. Till this day in Biafra land, you will never feel the monetary policies, the fiscal policies of Nigeria in Biafra land. That tells you psychologically we are divorced from Nigeria. It tells you mentally we are divorced from Nigeria. They know these facts. They know they don't love us. They know they hate the Biafrans with a passion. But they pretend because the resources there. If God should have it, if the oil and gas of Biafra land should dry up today, Nigeria will ask us to leave in the next hour. They know they don't love us. They know they don't appreciate us. All they are after is the resource, which is why we are saying it is time for us to go. Fellow Biafrans, you've seen what is happening in Lagos State as we speak. In the trade fair area, you see what is happening as Panda Market, I believe, to be more precise. You see the breaking down, the destructions of the properties of Biafrans, worth billions being destroyed before your eyes. If they love you, they will not go through this way. If they see you as a human being, if they see you as a so-called one Nigeria, as they claim, one Nigeria, the only country with one in their name, if they see you as a partaker of that so-called one Nigeria, they will not come this way to destroy the billions. You are the ones that made Lagos as vibrant as it is. Your businesses, your investments that you took to Lagos. And today, through tribalism, through nepotism, through red tapism, they have come to witch hunt you. And like a thief in the night, they have come to destroy what you have. Fellow Biafrans, I'll make a video on that very soon where I'll plead with the Igbos doing business in Lagos. I want to plead with you all to please turn back home. Look back home. It is time to invest in Biafra land. Like the Sankofa bird. When you've had enough, when the bird has eaten enough, when the bird has seen a big food, when the bird has so much to feast on, the bird, the Sankofa bird, it turns back. It turns around. It does a 190 degrees or a 180 degrees and look behind to see where it came from, to remember where it came from. That I have some relatives, I have some families, I have some siblings, I have some children, I have my parents, I have my brothers and sisters from where I came from. Let me go back with the food and let them know that there is food, plenty of food from where I'm coming from. Let me take some back to where I came from. That's the behavior, that's the thinking, that's the psychology that we expect from Biafrans in Lagos. Biko, Igbos in Lagos, we are calling on you guys. It is time to turn back home. Return with your business. It is okay to have a branch in Lagos. I'm not saying shut down your business, but your head office must be relocated back to the land of Biafra. Nigeria is not fair to you. Nigeria is not kind to you. They hate on you because you are doing well. They hate on you because you are being prosperous. It makes me to wonder, how will America look like if people like Microsoft are being hated on because they are prosperous? How will America look like if people like Elon Musk, the owner of Tesla, is being hated on? Is being, you just name it, because he's doing well. How will America look like? Today, the wish and hope of every Nigerian, the so-called Nigerians, is to find them way to America, to Australia, to Britain, to enjoy the best of the world, to Canada, as they say. But how will they feel if when they've done very well in Canada, suddenly the whites, the Caucasians in Canada is saying no black person is allowed to own a house. No black person is allowed to prosper in their business in Canada. How would they feel? I mean, to call a spade, you are in a foreign country and they are doing you that. But that same behavior is what is being met upon the Biafrans in their so-called one Nigeria. You claim we are one. You say it's a tripod. You call it the Wazobia. You say we are one people. But despite that, when we go around the whole country, going around doing what we know how to do best, doing our businesses, doing our services, you guys get angry with us because we are doing well. It's our culture. I keep saying it. A businessman is a thinking man. A businessman thinks about how to make profit, how to make abnormal profit. And when they make this profit and you sell their lands to them, they make the money, they buy your houses. Lord have mercy. Oh my God. This is sad. Just the other day, somebody called my uncle from America, asking him if he wants to sell the land that he sold to him previously, 5 years ago or so. I said the story the other time. A young man, a Yoruba man who wanted to go to the Western world, he sold a particular house to my uncle. And my uncle bought the house, broke down the house, and rebuilt the house. And guess what happened? After 5 years that this man took the money paid to him by my uncle, and he went to America. He's now doing well in America. But unfortunately, he is looking backwards. He is looking at the house that he sold to my uncle. He's looking at how beautiful, how edifying the house is. And he had the audacity He had the guts to call my uncle over the phone and ask him if he wants to resell that house to him. Think about that. He was ready to pay twice the price. And my uncle told him, I didn't tell you that my house is for sale. If I want to put my house for sale, I will do it the normal way and put it out there as an advert. When I gave you my money, when I paid you for your house, you took the money and went to America to move down with your family. Now you are doing well. And suddenly you are coming to me asking me if I want to sell the house. Most of you might not understand what that means. It means that whenever a transaction is done, they still come around to look back at you and say, well, you do how well you're doing. They look at us doing business, that we are doing well, and they get angry with us. What do you expect us to do? If we are doing a business, it is expected of us to make profit. When we buy your properties, when we buy your land and make it more edifying, more beautiful, it is not your duty, it is not your responsibility to be looking at those things you sold to us 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 50 years ago. It is not your duty nor your responsibility to judge us or to put us at a level of expectation that you expect us to do with that land. Once we pay for your land, once we pay for your resource, then we can do whatever we want to do with that real estate, with that property. So fellow Biafrans, that's one of the reasons why I feel like Nigeria cannot work. The fundamental problem with Nigeria is we never came or decided to be one. We didn't choose to be one. It was the Western world that brought us together. And since then till now, there have been no love lost between us and the so-called other tribes. I don't blame them. It's a natural phenomenon. It's like bringing Russia, Ukraine, Germany, and England to make them one country. It will never work out because they know within them they have their own ideology and culture. Yes, they may all look white, but they are not the same. That was the mistake of Lord Lugard. When he saw us looking as black people, he assumed black people, they are all the same. And he chose, due to some administrative reasons, in order to minimize the cost of running that company called Niger area. And they chose to do what they did. He chose to amalgamate them together, like companies coming together to form a consortium, like companies coming together to form a conglomerate. He chose to amalgamate Nigeria together. He didn't care about the culture differences, our way of life, our tradition, our norms. He didn't give a damn about it. That's the white man for you. They don't care. All they care about is the resources, the economy, how well they will make, what they will make from this, how well they will exploit the land. Until this day, we've been going through hell because of that. So it is clear to me, it is dawned on me that Nigeria will never be great again. Nigeria will never be the same again. There will be no love in Nigeria. There will be no unity in Nigeria because they are not one. It doesn't make sense to expect a people that hate themselves, a people that envy themselves, to somehow come together and make it work. Things will not work in Nigeria. Nigeria will keep on going down. The economy will keep on going down because when a president comes in there, he becomes tribalized. He brings in his own people to run the economy. It is not the best brains that are being employed to run the economy. No, they contract a tribalized way of doing things. People from their village, people from their tribe, people from their kindred, they are the ones that come in to run the economy. Before you know it, there is a mediocre level of doing things. That's why the economy is down. That's why things are hard. People are hungry. People are dying. Kidnapping is at an all-time high. For the fact your government went to Kenya to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu, the children have learned from the father. If the father went to Kenya to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu, what do you expect of the children? Today, the chicken has come home to roost. Nigeria is gone. The economy is gone. The way of life is gone. Everything about them is gone. And they expect us, the Biafrans, to die in their war. We are saying, no, 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 no. You guys put Nigeria in the place it is right now. It is your responsibility to deal with the consequence. But for we, the Biafrans, We are going home. We are done with Nigeria. We divorce ourselves from Nigeria. So we are calling on Nigeria to let go our brother Nnamdi Kanu. He has done nothing wrong. He is a freedom fighter. All he did was speak for his people. All he did was advocate for his people. We are the ones that sent him to you guys on this mission to let you know what we want. We sent Simon Ekpa, we sent Wazurike, we even sent Ojuku. When we told Ojuku, on Aburi we stand. We were the ones that instructed him that we are here to defend ourselves. When they were killing us in the north and we had to come back in the east, we told him that the eastern region only stands on Aburi. Until this day, they keep on hating on us, despite they were the ones that brought the war to the doorstep of the Biafrans. Fellow Biafrans, I'll leave it here, but I promise you I'll be back. This whole day will be dedicated to our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. A man we love, a man we appreciate, a man we're ready to die for. So we are calling on Nigeria. Nothing must happen to Nnamdi Kanu. If you're wise, by the end of this day, come up with the good news and say he has been released. But we know the devil. We know how Nigeria roll. We know their mentality. We know their way of life. We know their regular trademark. We know the way they roll. So please, fellow Biafrans, don't have a heartache on this one. Expect the worst from Nigeria. Don't keep your head up high or your hopes up high in Nigeria. Ignore them and just wait and observe. Observe the law court of Nigeria. Observe the judge, Justice James Omotosho, a man who had no business in this case, but he chose to pick on this case. Fellow Biafrans, I'll leave it here, and I'll leave it here. I'll be back to give you some more updates on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Fellow Biafrans, may God bless you all, and may God bless Biafra. Keep on watching and observing. Thank you, and God bless you.